Okay, folks. So, once again, the airwell problem. It's continuous. Last night I recorded and uploaded, I don't know if I uploaded it yet, videos, after midnight, midnight to 5 a.m. I wanted to make the point. I don't know if this guy next door to me, any of these guys next door to me, they have their windows wide open. You see their blinds aren't even down. I don't know if we could say morally, let's say it's not legal to point a camera at their windows. Again, I'm shooting this at the very lowest resolution that the Open Camera app allows, which is QCIF. So you can't see who they are and all that stuff. You could see the room numbers hopefully above the apartments and next to the windows. But you could say that they're kind of inviting people to look into their windows if they keep them wide open. I mean, obviously, we all know this is an airwell situation over here. And again, we're at the top of the building, and you can see the sunlight at the top floor, for what it's worth. But the echo, that's a jet above. But even that echoes. So you can hear some movie that they're playing, I don't know, Gladiator or something. It's much harder to tell which movie it is, and I've seen my share, and I'm very good at identifying such things. And if I was looking at the screen, I could probably tell you in a few seconds what movie it is, if I've ever seen it, Since movies got more expensive recently, in the history of the world, and they make it harder, if you don't have cable, to see the most recent movies. Again, my window's completely closed, 100% closed, and they're double-paned windows. I don't know if you're able to tell, just looking down there, that they're double-paned, but of course I could raise the window and touch both sides with my hands, and then you could see pretty clearly that, my fingers are like more than a quarter inch apart because of the double panes. But that's not like soundproofing. I don't know if there's triple pane, quadruple pane, quintuple pane, for people suffering the noise complaints. And if I haven't made the point, and I don't think I have, and, like to pass around, my little wisdom to the crowd. So, thank God I started recording this. Just listen to this crap. See, yelling and screaming. I have a white noise machine, and of course there's white noise apps that you can get from the web, and even websites and YouTube videos where you can get that. But so sad, it has to be necessary, right? And I could probably back off from this quite a bit, and you could probably still hear it, because that's what called me over to the window. Here, I'll give you a TV date and time check. I'm just going to upload something else. This is golf. This is a current, I don't know if you saw that in time. That's PGA Championship, something like that. And again, yesterday, Usain Bolt, for the first time, faltered in the Olympics, collapsed, wasn't able to finish a race. We got more applause. The applause only helps, the participants, all the spectators, and every time it's played back, whether it's a Jeopardy game or, somebody on Broadway, a famous actor, Sir Laurence Olivier or something, or, modern actor like Jim Parsons from The Big Bang Theory has done some plays. That doesn't help. That doesn't help, you know, the individual watching later and throughout history if it's recorded, and it's just going to be more noise, you know. So it would be good if we could develop some other. I remember there was an I Love Lucy episode where they did. It was like Here's Lucy, or one of her, you know, the color shows. This is Richard Dawson, the Buzzer Channel from Family Feud, way back when he originated it in the 70s, I guess. Here's Movies 2-3. You can see this Sony Bravia I got for $40, a 40-inch TV at the Goodwill. It doesn't. This is elementary. It's a repeat. This is not their first run time. I don't know if that show's still first run even. I think they're over there 5 years. And a lot of times they just shut the production down after that, or you know, sometimes they try to keep going. Anyway, so yeah, the noise, the air well, all that stuff, you know, it's annoying and difficult to live with, and you can't really complain to anybody. People have this crazy conception in their heads that it's the boy who cried wolf, as if you're a boy. I'll make a separate video on that, how heinous it is to say such a thing. It was a Lonesome Dove series. I forgot there was a series on that. Well, you know, for what that's worth, 10 minutes remaining. It doesn't give you the time. It just tells you that. So anyway, with the airwell, I was going to make the point with a song. If you can hear the music and you can sing along with the song from where I am, if I can hear the lyrics, if I know, if I can identify them from here, that's a good way to know it's too loud. And again, we live in the era of earbuds that you can get from the dollar store, and I believe there are adapters that you could plug into a big TV. And some of the new big TVs even take the small earphone jacks, you know, from the dollar store. But God forbid you spend another $1 for the adapter, and you know, sometimes the dollar stores I'll give you are now $1.35 or $1.50. But in general, you know what I'm talking about. This is very economical. So you could walk around your own apartment, especially if you know you live in a building where the walls are paper thin, you know, like this degenerate Winton Hotel where that has occurred. Yet somehow we're not able to get phone service, any kind of wireless service, any kind of electronic service. I believe they don't allow satellite dish in here. Or the building doesn't allow for it. It's like lined in lead or something like that. Again, I'll do a complete video on that later. This one has already gone too long. But it goes to show you this airwell problem is a continuing problem and challenge. Again, there's multiple ones in this building, and there's multiple ones throughout San Francisco. And some of these airwells in a different building like the Dalt are dozens and dozens of apartments. So you're facing like 100 apartments. You don't know who's making the noise. And even if you do, you know, identify the person, a lot of times they'll do whatever they can to, you know, be sneaky and keep making the noise deep into the night, 24 hours a day. And they could even, you know, throw things at you. I had somebody come to my apartment from that hotel when I lived there and threatened they had a gun. I don't know how they located my apartment. Because I would just yell, "Shut up," and it would be the loudest thing that was echoing throughout the halls because everything was a hard surface. That's why in a building like this, they should have carpeting everywhere, including all along the walls. They have this wallpaper that's this felt kind of carpeted kind of stuff. That's what they should implement in a place like this to make it as soundproof as possible. And yeah, it might be a little more difficult to maintain and vacuum and things like that. But, you know, by and large, they should do big data studies and see what kind of stress it puts on the population and how many people drop dead of heart attacks as a consequence. I'm fairly certain they're not keeping those statistics. It's fairly obvious, you know, veterans are dropping dead like crazy. or committing suicide at the rate of 22 per day. And, you know, the city, county, state, and federal government don't care. All right, so I'll cut this for now.